Okay, so are you ready to get a little spooked?
Always up for a good scare. What are we diving into today?
Today we're getting into like the nitty-gritty of what makes those short, scary stories, the ones you find online, so effective.
Ah, those bite-sized chills.
Exactly. But don't worry, we're not telling a spooky story today.
More like a dissecting one.
Exactly. We're breaking down the elements, figuring out what makes them tick.
Love it. Lay it on me.
So first things first, you gotta have a good structure.
Right, even a 10-minute story needs a solid foundation.
Absolutely. And our example today uses that classic, creepy village, witch in the woods kind of setup, super classic horror imagery. But why does that work so well, do you think? Especially for these shorter stories.
I think it plays on those really primal fears,
Yeah.
forests especially. Limited visibility, that sense of being closed in.
Totally. Like anything could be out there, just hiding in the trees.
Exactly. Our brains go a little haywire, start imagining all the things that could be lurking just out of sight.
It's like that fear of the unknown, amplified.
Exactly that.
And this example story we have, it doesn't stop at just the forest, right? You've got the whispering wind, the fog making it hard to see, shadows moving in the trees. It's like sensory overload in the best way possible. Why are those details so important, you think?
Well, think about it. It all triggers that fight or flight response in us, even if we're just watching a screen.
Oh, for sure. It's like our body's getting ready for danger before we even consciously realize it.
Yeah. Obscured vision, weird sounds, sudden movements. Our brains are wired to associate that stuff with danger. It's like survival instinct 101.
So true. And it makes it that much creepier. Like our brains are filling in the blanks, right? Creating the threat before we even see it.
Exactly. It's so effective. And speaking of things that go bump in the night, this story, it takes things one step further, adds a local legend to the mix. A witch who lives in the woods, naturally.
Okay, I gotta ask, why are legends, particularly about witches, so potent in horror? Is it like a truth is stranger than fiction kind of thing?
It's like we try to explain the things we don't understand, right? And legends, they give us that. A name, a face, a story for something that scares us.
So it makes the impossible feel real.
Exactly. Suddenly, it's not so far-fetched that there might be something wicked lurking in the woods.
Okay, yeah, that's creepy. And speaking of things that are kind of iffy, this story, the teenagers, right? They basically brush off the whole witch thing.
Typical teenagers.
Right. But then they still go into the woods like, hello, haven't you ever seen a horror movie?
It's that classic horror trope.
Hmm.
We kind of crave that, right? Seeing those bad decisions.
Oh, totally. It's like, don't go in there, but also, ooh, I kind of want to see what happens.
Exactly. We get to experience that thrill safely from a distance.
Exactly. No actual danger involved.
Just pure entertainment. Which reminds me, the way this story reveals the witch is brilliant, I think.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more.
It's not just a boo moment, It's gradual. A glimpse of a figure, then the creepy cabin appears, and finally, boom, the witch.
Ooh, I see what you mean. It's like that slow build of tension. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Exactly. Your imagination goes into overdrive trying to figure out what's going to happen next.
And then there's those like really supernatural elements, the stuff that screams horror movie.
Yeah, the moment it goes from unsettling to, nope, this isn't normal.
Exactly. This story, we've got shadows moving, the cabin door slamming shut, even the floor opening up to swallow one of the teenagers. Why does that stuff freak us out so much?
It's like our brains want things to make sense. And when they don't, when the rules of reality get tossed out the window.
It's terrifying.
Exactly.
Wait.
We feel powerless because it's completely out of our control.
Totally. Which, speaking of control, this story has a great climax. The witch confronts the teenagers, but then Ben, he remembers that symbol from her book.
Ah, the classic hero moment.
Right, and he uses it to repel her. They escape. So cliche, but it works. What is it about that narrow escape that we love so much?
I think it's that, we're relieved the characters are safe, but there's still that little bit of, are they really safe? Lingering.
Oh, 100%. It's like they might have escaped this time, but the threat is still out there.
Exactly. Think about those classic horror movies like
Yeah.
Friday the 13th or Halloween. The final girl escapes, but you just know it's not really over.
It's the horror movie equivalent of that jump scare at the very end, when you think everything's wrapped up, and then bam, not so fast.
Exactly. And it's super effective, especially in those shorter stories. You've only got a few minutes to really get under the viewer's skin.
So to sum it all up, if you're looking to write a truly terrifying 10-minute story, remember, setting, sensory details, that creep factor, characters making questionable choices.
Don't forget that slow burn reveal. Gotta keep 'em guessing.
Right. And of course, supernatural elements and a satisfying but kind of open-ended climax. That's how you leave them wanting more, or maybe sleeping with the lights on.
The mark of a truly effective, scary story.
Exactly. And now that you know the secrets behind a truly terrifying tale, it's your turn. What kind of 10-minute hoarder story would you create? What's your unique twist? Something to ponder. Until next time. Sweet dreams, everyone.